I had a list of things I was planning to ask Attorney General Derek Schmidt about, but we're focusing on data breaches, and especially with this WannaCry, the cyber hack against 150 countries and people there, and the ransomware demanding that a certain amount be paid or their records and files would be released. That's what we're talking about today. It got our attention, and it sure got the attention of Attorney General Derek Schmidt. Derek, good to have you back again.
Ralph, thank you. Good to be back.
All right, and let's talk about the WannaCry cyber hack. What are your details that you know about as far as the parameters of the State Attorney General's office?
Well, we started to receive a handful of complaints on sort of ransomware late last week. We aren't certain whether those were part of this outbreak or whether it was just coincidental. We heard those, and then over the weekend, of course, this large outbreak occurred that apparently is still ongoing. You know, there's no good answer here other than the basics. Don't open emails that you don't know are from a trusted source and you can confirm it. If you open them, don't click on those attachments, no matter how enticing they may be, because of course that's how these entities can get access to your machine. Always make sure that you update all of the security patches for your browser or for your software system, your operating system, as you may be.
Your
because
spyware.
Those patches, absolutely,
right.
Absolutely, because that's your best defense. And defense is really critical here, because once this thing is in your system, you're in just really a tough spot. I wish I had a better answer than that, but you're in a tough spot. Don't pay the ransom. Paying the ransom is not going to solve the problem.
Disney was hacked, and the problem was if Disney paid a ransom, that would open the gates that this is a legitimate way to steal money from major corporations. They're not going to pay the ransom. What are your thoughts, Derek, on, you know, we talk many times on this show about identity thieves operating in Kansas, and they have something you want to click on, they'll get your information. This is a global, a massive, worldwide problem. And what are your thoughts on identity theft and the ransomware and, you know, demanding money that's happening in these 150 countries now?
Well, you know, I'm not privy to whatever the intelligence may say is the actual origin of this. There were news reports this morning that some folks seem to have tied this to an entity that is tied to the North Korean government. So, you know, it may be a strictly criminal entity. It may be more than a strictly criminal entity, but they're all tied together. I mean, if this is a state actor or a state-esque actor, if you will, that's acting for something other than financial gain, once they have the data, they're certainly not going to be above selling it on the black market to folks who are willing to pay something for it.
It's scary.
So it really is.
It's
I mean, you know, we've said it before, Ralph, but we live in one of those times. I think we'll look back on this in 10, 15, 20 years and say, my goodness, how did they possibly operate the car without any safety systems? How did they possibly operate their digital systems this way without sort of basic safety? But we don't know better right now. So we are where we are.
We have about a minute to go with Attorney General Derek Schmidt. There has been just a traditional papers, a record dump that has happened into the dumpster where the papers could be stolen by anyone. And where did that happen, and what do you know? Can you tell us about that case?
Yeah, we talked about this before, that just because we're in the digital age doesn't mean that your identity is safe, even though it's on paper somewhere. And the latest of those cases we've been involved with was down in Humboldt. It was a company we filed suit against last week. They ran a nursing home. It's been out of business for about 5+ years now. They had all those records of patients and financials, and they didn't maintain them. Folks had access to them.
Into the trash.
They didn't even go that far, Ralph.
Oh,
they kept them in an abandoned building that had been broken into, the doors in, the kids in, folks in and out, records strewn about. So we have now, under court order, secured all those records, and we'll sort it all out in court.
Equally frightening, whether it's paper or a big, massive cyber attack happening in those nations. We'll have more on that story on the evening news, and with the local front on that, Attorney General Derek Schmidt, always great to see you.
Thank you, Ralph.
Get together again in June?
Sounds great.
We'll do it again. We will do that. All right. Melissa Jarbo is my co-host and co-producer of the Red Couch Show today, and said anything she'd love to bring to your attention about the Topeka Veterans Day Parade. And we've got Grace Anna Rogers and her mom Angela sharing the couch with us now. Going to find out a lot more and get to know them. Good to have you here, Melissa. Introduce your friends for us here.
I am Angela Rogers and her daughter Grace Anna. Say hi.
Hi.
How are you? Grace Anna, you're going to sing the national anthem for us on Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you going to do that? And Mom, you can chip in anytime. Where will you be on the grandstand?
I'm gonna kick on the
stage. We'll be on the stage?
I'm gonna be on a stage, and I'm going to kick the parade on, and I'm going to sing the Star Spangled Banner.
That's right.
And it's been pleasure how how much you know me and
Uh-huh.
stuff like that.
We're loving to get to know you already here. Angela, and I sometimes am permitted to ask a lady's age. How old is Grace Anna? How long has she been singing?
She's 7 years old, and she has been singing since she was almost 20 months old.
20 months old.
She could
Yes.
actually
Right.
sing before she could talk well.
My goodness. Now, we're also going to get a shot. We love our local authors, and Grace Anna is a local author here. So Grace Anna sings. It's kind of with some help from Mom. So Melissa Jarboe, they have a book signing coming up before the parade in the upcoming days leading up to the parade.
Tomorrow, they'll actually be at Barnes & Noble, and Angie and Grace will be there for all their followers. They have over 1 million followers on Facebook, so we're really excited for them to be here. So from 1 to 3, they'll be at our Topeka Barnes & Noble. So anybody
Okay.
watching this can come visit them.
1 to 3 on Friday.
Yes.
So she's got that on the schedule. 11 o'clock on Saturday. So she will sing right at 11 to begin all this?
She will, to kick off the Topeka Veterans Parade, and I think they're going to join us for some patriotic pancakes at 8 o'clock at HHB Barbecue. And then I don't know if Grace is going to participate in the superhero fun run, but I feel like this little girl can do anything.
She's got the energy
So
for it.
she
I know
does,
that.
she
Yeah.
does. So 9 o'clock will actually be kicking off the superhero fun run, and then 11
Absolutely,
o'clock the
absolutely.
parade. So
Well, this is our time with Grace Anna Rogers and her mom Angela and Melissa Jarboe to talk about this Salute Our Heroes Festival. This is the part of the show where we focus on that one, and that's from 8 until 2. This is really the whole day's events,
It
all
is.
wrapped up in one. All in downtown Topeka?
900 block of Kansas. You can't miss us. We'll be all
All right
over.
in that area. Okay. What are some of the other things we should look for? We're going to listen for Grace Anna. Some of the other
Yes.
things?
We're going to look for the patriotic pancakes at HHB
Yeah.
Barbecue.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the skydivers coming out of the sky to start
We
off the
mentioned that.
parade.
Look up for
Yeah,
them.
so we're real excited.
We hope for clear skies for that.
We do. It rain, sleet, snow, or shine. I saw Dusty Nichols over there, and I'm pretty sure no matter what, we're going to go. So even if it's raining outside, I know our veterans are going to be marching proud down Kansas Avenue.
Right, and do you always check in with our Jeremy Goodwin here, check on that weather before you make your plans, or you go with the plans
no,
anyway? I know
we,
you do.
We
but-
check with Jeremy because we love Jeremy, but we definitely are a go, and I think Dusty Nichols will confirm that. Rain, sleet, snow, or shine, we'll be out
Fantastic.
there.
Well, marvelous Grace Anna, and her T-shirt says Grace Anna Sings, which she will do to start the parade at 11 o'clock on Saturday on the stage. Where is that stage, Melissa?
10th in Kansas, the
10th
big
in
grandstand.
Kansas.
You cannot
So
miss it.
Come and meet her, and you can meet her at the Barnes & Noble 1 to 3 tomorrow, Grace Anna Rogers. And Angela and Grace Anna, what do you think about all this festivity? And does Grace Anna get asked to do a lot of these types of things?
We
Okay.
think it's awesome that anytime you can support and salute our veterans, it's an awesome thing. And we do get asked to do a lot of things, but we
Yeah.
just do those things that are near and dear to our hearts. And the parade and the Military Veteran Project are very definitely near and dear to our heart.
Right. Grace Anna, darling, how about you? What do you want to say to our fans at home?
Okay. I wanted to say that
Yeah.
I was going to give a thank you to all of our to all of the fans that are watching us, and we know how much I love singing, and singing is the important thing in my life. Just how long I'm singing doesn't mean we have to stop singing.
Right.
That
We talk about our veterans.
She's right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm talking about our veterans that the soldiers sacrificed their life to protect our freedom.
See, she knows what it's all about.
So yeah, that was just
Okay.
broke my heart.
Well, Melissa, thank you. I think you and I did a great job teaming up to get
We
all that. And
did,
thank you
thank
for
you.
getting us together with the marvelous Grace Anna and Mom Angela. 11 o'clock on Saturday, and belt out that national anthem. You know she's going to do it. All right. Politically speaking, and we will talk some politics in here, on the mayor scene in Topeka, we know now Michelle De La Isla or Spencer Duncan will be the mayor in November. There's also a fine gentleman named Jeff Colyer, who's the lieutenant governor of Kansas. He's about to become the governor, more than likely, and we don't know when. That's the mystery of it. We'll talk politics with him, but there's a fascinating other side to him you may not know as we welcome physician Lieutenant Governor Jeff Colyer to the show.
It's great
Jeff,
to see you, Ralph.
It's good to have you here. You showed me a picture. You have a red couch in your house.
Absolutely. Actually, it's in the lieutenant governor's office.
in the lieutenant governor's office.
And
Yeah.
and I sit on it every day.
That's great. Well, you're not much of a man to sit. With
That's
your
true.
medical career, you've been all around the world, really on missions of mercy, and I'm not sure Kansans know about that. I really just watched the 60 Minutes report you were on. It was 15 years ago with Christian Amanpour and the work you were doing in Sierra Leone. Why don't you tell me more about that part? So in 2001, 2002, you were working, doing some medical things in Africa.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know some of my background. I'm a fifth-generation Kansan. I'm a plastic surgeon. I do craniofacial reconstruction here in Kansas. A lot of kids, reconstructive, a lot of trauma, even a lot of people from here in Topeka. But in addition to that, I volunteer with an organization called International Medical Corps, and I volunteered with them in war zones around the world. Afghanistan, Iraq, Sierra Leone. I was in the Rwanda during the genocide, places like the Jordan-Syrian border, and places like South Sudan. I've seen the worst in people and the best in people.
I can imagine.
But I do know the best are here in Kansas, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But really been able to work with a lot of people and be in some very difficult situations. And when, you may want me to tell you a little bit about some of those, but it's really changed my life. And what I believe is we have to listen to people. That's what I do as a doctor. We listen to people. We want to bring in, what are your goals? Where are we going to be? We may have a difficult road, and it may take us several years, but how do we get there? Working with International Medical Corps, I've been in some really difficult places. One place would be Sierra Leone, where they would capture young boys and girls, and they would carve names across their forehead to make them slaves, basically. And so how do you free those young kids and eliminate the marks?
And literally enslaving them in blood.
Oh, absolutely, in blood and in scar, and
Yeah,
then they could
yeah.
never return to their homes. And you would have to deal with warlords there. These are, people with AK-47s that are, just trying to control a piece of territory, and they will bring these kids in as child soldiers. Dealing with some of these warlords, one experience I had was just recently, a couple of years ago, I was in South Sudan. And South Sudan is one of the worst war zones in the world right now. And a woman came in, and she was very pregnant, and she's delivering twins. And we're in the middle of this war zone. We have no oxygen. We don't have, a lot of the supplies. But these kids are 2 months premature. And one of our hospitals that was a few miles away had been looted and ransacked by the local warlord. And I went over to see it, and we found they had some oxygen there. So I had to go visit the warlord, and everybody's carrying AK-47s. It's a very difficult place. There's been a lot of shooting going on, and you have to talk to them. And so you have to listen to them. You have to be very firm. You have to cajole. You have to do a lot of things. And actually talk him into letting us have that oxygen, and those two kids are still alive. Now, the reason I'm telling you that story is I want people to know that they have a governor, the next governor, that will be very level-headed, that we're going to listen to Kansans first, but we're going to listen to people, and we have to get things done. I'm really passionate about our state, and I want people to know that I believe in us, and we have this dream that Kansas is where our kids are, and we can do this, and I'll do everything that I'm really passionate about for our state.
With lessons learned around the world.
With lessons learned
that you
around the
bring
world.
back home.
But
Yeah.
those get in your soul. And
Oh, that's
Kansas
amazing.
is so
Yeah.
great.
That's amazing. You're originally from Hays, Kansas, is your home area.
Yeah, 5 generations
Five
there.
generations in Hays, and all the work he's done around the world. So, Jeff, we'll talk a little State House and a little homegrown politics here?
Absolutely.
All right, we will do that.